Do you ever feel like you have a purpose? Like you were put on this earth to do something very specific? Paul certainly did.
I want you to know, brothers and sisters, that the gospel I preached is not of human origin. I did not receive it from any man, nor was I taught it. Rather, I received it by revelation from Jesus Christ. For you have heard of my previous way of life in Judaism, how intensely I persecuted the church of God and tried to destroy it. I was advancing in Judaism beyond many of my own age, among my people, and was extremely zealous for the traditions of my fathers. But when God, who set me apart from my mother's womb and called me by his grace, was pleased to reveal his Son in me so that I might preach him among the Gentiles, my immediate response was not to consult any human being. I did not go up to Jerusalem to see those who were apostles before I was, but I went into Arabia. Later I returned to Damascus.
Paul is restating that he does not have a human authority, but rather his authority comes from God, which we remember from the intro. The rest of the passage seems to speak about what this looks like. Paul gives a snippet of how he was converted towards the end of the passage, and at the end of the passage he says what that means for him. Verse 13 speaks of his old life. Paul was a jerk. He persecuted the church of God and he tried to destroy it. He was there when Stephen was stoned for preaching the gospel of Jesus in Acts chapter 7. And he stood there seemingly pleased with what was happening. Paul, who was at that point called Saul, was climbing the ranks of his religion really quickly. The way Paul tells the rest of this story is pretty interesting. He talks about how successful he was, how his career was progressing in Judaism, and then we're about to reach the climax of this story, and he tells us that he becomes a Christian. He says that he was chosen by God and that he was set apart before he was born. Let's pause here for a moment. When he says that God revealed Jesus to him, he means two things. He means that he physically saw the risen Lord Jesus, but also that he understood that Jesus was in fact God. Paul seems to link his conversion to a job. He seems to think that he was converted for a reason. He seems to think that he was converted so that he could bring the gospel to the Gentiles. Now, this is big. He went from a Christian-hating Jew to a Gentile-loving Christian. Not only did he stop hating Christians, but he started sharing the Christian gospel with Gentiles. The best part is, he doesn't ask for permission. He goes and does it. His immediate response was not to consult any humans. He just went and did it. So when you have the chance to preach the gospel, remember the way Paul did it. He didn't worry about what people would think of him. He knew he had a job to do, and he just went and did it.